we're coming to you live from the Built Ford Tough Studio. Boomer Esiason, Greg Giannotti. It's Boomer and Gio on the Fan. Simulcast across the country on CBS Sports Network. And wherever you are, the free Odyssey app. Good Friday morning, a feel-good Friday. Not a feel-good football Friday. One more of those left in this NFL season. That will be a week from today before Super Bowl 59, but it is a feel-good Friday. Even put the Feel Good Friday shirt on today from years ago that we had in the now defunct WFAN store. So I do have that on this morning. So decided to really bring the Feel Good vibes today for a number of reasons. And one of those reasons is Boomer Esiason on social media last night. So Boomer is a guy who likes to drop crumbs, and he wants people to follow those crumbs. And there were a lot of crumbs. I mean, you actually put like a half a bagel down on the ground last night. As you said, I'll get the exact verbiage here of this particular thing. Talking about the New York Mets and the Pete Alonso situation, Boomer Esiason put out 9 hours ago, 8:48 p.m., I'm feeling like Pete is a Met tomorrow. Tomorrow is now today. Good morning, Boomer Esiason. What do you know?
Hi, Gio. How are you?
I'm doing great.
I mean, this is the way you open a Feel Good Friday? I mean, you didn't say...
No. I opened a Feel Good Friday
saying
saying
about... Why didn't you ask me this before the show?
Well, because I wanted to hear what you had to say on the show.
I see.
And by the way, I opened with a bunch of other stuff, but you weren't in here.
I'm sorry. I got hung up with with Amy back there. And
Yeah.
the group of guys, and it's just crazy around here on a Friday. Anyway, well, I'm thinking today's the day, man. And I'm thinking, it's probably going to happen at 10:05. So I just wanted to get out in front of it. So just so we all know that as a diehard Met fan myself, I want the guy at first base. I want him in the lineup. Steve Cohen's done a lot of great things for us since he's taken over ownership of this team, and this will be another one. This will be another little present for us as I believe that. Hopefully they'll come to an agreement today.
All right.
How's that sound?
No, I mean, that sounds fine, but
I can't.
This is not just a feeling thing. You must have gotten something from somebody.
It is a really feel-good Friday. I just feel like all warm and toasty. Like, I wanted to hug Al before the show. He ran away from me, so I didn't get a chance to do that. And I have this sneaking suspicion. I don't know how to tell you.
Yeah, but there has to be more to it than that.
Well,
you got the ear to the ground.
I always have my ear to the ground.
All right, so let me ask you the confidence level.
What is this? Like some sort of interrogation?
Oh, I need to know. I mean, you put that out there. You put it out there. You're going to get questions about it.
And you wouldn't put it out there unless you knew.
Hey, listen, guys. Everybody just pump the brakes for 5 seconds. Yeah, I put it out there. I will stand by it. And if it doesn't happen, you can call me a jackass. Whatever you want to do.
No.
No,
I'm not going to do that.
It's going to happen, and you'll be Boomstradamus.
All right. Well, yeah, but then I don't want to go down that road get with you guys again, because every time we go down that road, you make these snide comments, and you take shots at me.
What are you talking about? We say, Boomstradamus, we bow to thee. I don't know why that is.
It's kind of a little bit of you know how you guys are.
I don't think so at all.
I feel it.
We're paying homage.
Maybe you don't feel it. I don't feel it that way.
No, okay, well, fine. Well,
So here's the deal. I do really. Hopefully today is the day.
Okay. Well,
I
need to know where you were last night. That's what I need to know.
You know where I was?
I kind of have an idea where you were.
Well, what did you say, Al? You said something in his ear. You can't do that. I heard it, and then he laughed at it.
It was something. It was a quote from the OJ documentary, and it sounded. The wording was sort of how you just were talking, so I couldn't resist.
Oh, so they just couldn't resist to tell him something, so he laughed. So nobody out there understands why.
Right, because no one would know what it is.
I can explain it if you'd like. You want me to explain it quickly?
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's okay.
I'm going to explain it anyway because I think it's funny.
Okay.
So, all right, so during this OJ documentary, they're playing a phone call from the police to Al Cowlings, who is driving the white Bronco with OJ in it.
Who can forget that?
And they know obviously it's Al Cowlings and OJ in there. Yeah. So Al Cowlings is talking to the police officer, and he's like, "Listen, man, you guys have to back off because OJ's got a gun." And the police officer says, "Okay, now what's your name?" He goes, "I am Al." "You know who I am, goddammit!" So when you said, "You know where I was last night," Al went, "You know where I was, goddammit!" So That's
okay.
what happened.
All right.
Got it?
Okay.
Now you're in on the whole thing.
Now I'm in on it.
I mean,
Okay,
you're a little
appreciate that.
paranoid today, I think.
I'm not paranoid.
You're paranoid because
I'm not paranoid.
I'll tell you why. Because you're like, oh man, you guys making fun of me for the Boomstradamus stuff, and then Al says something in my ear. You're like, oh, what are you doing? You guys talking about me? No one's talking about you negatively. You're paranoid.
All right. Well, listen. If let's put it this way. All the deducing that I do during the day and during the evening, and the people that I talk to.
You're a deducer.
I've always been that way. I've always
deducer.
been very interested in situations like this. I love situations like this because it really is about people coming together and doing what I believe is the right thing. And given certain people that I have spoken to, it makes me feel like this is going to be a really good day in Metland. That's how I feel today.
Okay, well, I know
tonight I hope by the time the day's over, cooler heads prevail and things get done. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, and I know you were around a lot of high-profile sports marketing people, sports agents last night. So there's definitely some intertwined things going on, some very high-level people.
Well, no, I was good. This is all before last night. I will say that.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I didn't really have a chance to post anything on X just simply because I was busy, and I was going to save this until 7 o'clock. But yeah, I was at the Ivy Football Foundation dinner last night, and my dear friend Frank Buno was honored on behalf of Princeton and his time there and everything that he has done for Princeton football.
Indeed.
And, it was great. I got a chance to see a couple old teammates of mine, Reggie Williams, Dartmouth, Nick Lowry, Harvard. I saw Ryan Fitzpatrick last night, who owes me a percentage of his 2016 contract, I told him, and he's never said thank you. Jay Fiedler, of course, he was a Dartmouth quarterback. Ross Tucker from Penn. He went to Princeton as well. John Spagnuolo, who I haven't seen, former tight end of the Eagles.
Spags?
He's another Spags. I hadn't seen him for a while. Yale. And then, of course, there's my friend Don Jackson who went to Columbia. I think he considers himself like the Doug Flutie of Columbia. I hope you're laughing at that, Don, right now as I say that. And then there was Jimmy Pitaro from ESPN. He was honored last night from Cornell. Buddy Tevens, the former head coach at Dartmouth, who passed away, unfortunately, in a bike accident, met his wife last night. She was wonderful, and they did a great job remembering Buddy and all the things that he had done at Dartmouth. Kevin Stefanski, head coach of the Browns, was there last night. He was being honored. He's a UPenn guy, graduated back in 2004. And then, of course, Dick Duran, also coach, was there. He was there, I think, in Yale in 1973 is when he graduated. So I was around a lot of those football Ivy-type people and saw a lot of people there last night. It was a great night, and I was basically the second dumbest guy in the room.
Who was the dumbest?
Phil Simms.
Oh, okay. So Phil went as well. Okay,
yes,
very good.
Yes.
Oh,
well, we were there for our buddy Frank Buno, and of course Steve Rosner put the whole thing together for us.
Great.
And it was a great night. Got a chance to see a lot of people I hadn't seen in a long time. Like I hadn't seen Nick Lowry in a long time. He was he was the kicker for the Jets when I was here.
Yeah. So all right. So this information that you got was prior to this Ivy League football thing. So
I was at an Ivy football.
You had a very, very busy day yesterday. Now, what was interesting to me, and I believe you, and I know you're paranoid. You're going to say, "Oh, you don't believe me." I believe that you got some solid information. Yesterday.
I got solid information.
I believe that you did, but it was interesting to me because I really thought that after I heard Steve Cohen and then some of the reports that Boris was putting through Heyman and all this stuff, I was like, this thing is going to drag on. This is going to drag on to spring training, and then it's going to be who's going to blink first, and then all of a sudden Pete's going to show up like the third week of spring training is going to be all out of shape, and then he's got to figure out how to get back in shape. This is the way I thought it was going to play out. So when I saw this, I was encouraged. I was happy.
You should be encouraged.
Because I was like, man, this is the exact opposite of the way that I thought it was going to go.
I'm encouraged. I'm very encouraged.
What's the thing that made this reality, you know? Somebody finally caving?
It's not about caving.
Oh, damn right it is.
It's about
caving.
See, this is what happens here in New York. People like you muddy the waters, and you muck it up.
I'm not mucking anything up.
You're so happy to muck things up. And when you start mucking things up, then things could go south because somebody's feelings may get hurt because of a third party, the way that they think
come on.
and they feel about
No,
something. So don't you start mucking things up.
How am I mucking anything
You're
up?
mucking it up. You just saw your attitude right there. It's a muck-up attitude.
No,
Who's
it's not.
caving? Who's caving?
Somebody's got to cave.
No, nobody's got to cave. Here's the thing.
It's a blinking contest, staring contest.
What everybody just has to do, and I think this is what is happening, is everybody's just got to calm down. Pete's not playing in Toronto. He's not playing in Cincinnati. He's not going to the Giants. He's not going to Chicago. He needs to be the first baseman of the Mets. He knows that. The Mets know that. And Boris, just clam up. You gave him bad information or you gave him bad advice. This is one of many that you've given bad advice to. And I would tell Pete, do what's in your heart and follow what your heart says you should do.
All right, so
that's how I would characterize a lot of this.
So Boris and Alonso are caving. All right. So I got the answer.
Again, mucking
well,
it up.
I don't consider
it
it
caving.
caving.
What I see is I really do. I honestly feel this way, and this may be wrong. And I'm not against players. I want players to make as much money as they possibly can. And thank God that Juan Soto got $750 million. I wouldn't have spent that money on him, but they did, and I appreciate that. But there are certain players that are synonymous with their team. And I think that, Pete Alonso has been a synonymous man. And this conversation that we had about Saquon Barkley yesterday and the success and everything else made me dig a little deeper.
Oh, you dug?
Yeah.
To what?
I dug to phone calls, discussions, and an understanding of what I think is happening.
Okay.
All right, so don't muck it up.
I'm not mucking it up.
Don't be one of these media hacks.
What are you talking about?
And who's caving? Who's doing
Well, somebody's
this?
caving.
Why can't we all just come together and we meet halfway and we say this is great?
Okay.
Why can't we look at it that way?
Well, you could, but I would just. I will deal in reality. Someone's going to cave here. You got two people. You got Steve Cohen and Scott Boras. And each wants something very different.
Steve Cohen took care of Scott Boras with Juan Soto.
It's exactly what I said.
And that's part of Steve's frustration, and I understand that. And I certainly see where he's coming from, and I understand where David Stearns is coming from. But I'm telling you, 80% of us fans, Met fans, 80% of us, and I think that's probably a low number. It's probably higher than that. Want Pete back in this lineup at first base. We want Vientos at third base. We want him at first base. That's what we want, and we want Soto out in right field or DHing for whatever the hell amount of money we're giving him. That's what we want as a fan base.
So you got to give the fans whatever they want?
Well, I think within reality, now $7.5 or $750 million is not reality in my book, but
this is not a listen to the fans, sit with the fan spot?
No, it's not. As a matter of fact, it's a business spot. Do yourself a favor and make even more money by signing one of the most popular players in recent Met history.
What if it puts you over that?
I don't give a crap. Do you think?
They do.
You just paid a guy $7.5 billion. You got the Dodgers reworking contracts and spending money.
You might not give a crap. They do.
I'm just telling you,
it's a prohibitive thing.
Yeah,
the CBT.
Okay.
It is.
Yeah, right.
Because if they go over it, they get taxed at 110% for every dollar.
Believe me, I know. Do I care? It's his money. He's spending it.
He cares. I'm not saying you care. It's part of the conversation. What you think about it doesn't matter. Right. What he thinks about it has something to do with whether he's going to sign guys or not.
We're talking about baseball, right? It's baseball. Pitchers and catchers right around the corner, and we're starting this show with baseball, and that's great. I love talking about baseball, especially situations like this. But this is more than baseball for the Mets, is it not?
Well, yeah, because they could put them over the competitive balance tax, and that could be a big problem for them.
Yeah. You see the project he wants to build over there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so what? Who cares?
He does, because he said he does. So I've answered that question several times.
He's going to have a $10 billion, development project over there that's going to include a casino.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Okay.
This is pittance compared to what this signing could do. and what it will
Well,
do for
I
the
mean,
Met
I think
fan
the-
base and the sponsorships and everything that goes along with the business of baseball.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the Juan Soto deal certainly did that for them. I don't know if Pete Alonso coming back on a 3-year deal is going to push through them getting a downstate
I'd give
casino
him a 3-year
license.
deal, give him a one-year opt-out. I don't care. Just
And that's
going to
be the thing that helps them build that casino.
You know what? I want to see him winning is going to help him build that casino. Just like the Washington Commanders are going to get a new stadium at RFK.
Well, they also change their ownership, yeah.
But they're winning, and they got a quarterback. Just like Buffalo, they're winning. They got a quarterback. They get a new stadium. Hello. I mean, it all goes hand in hand. You got to get the political will behind what you're trying to do. And there's one way you do that in sports, and that is win. Win, win, win. Or you exhaust every opportunity and you threaten to leave. And like the Islanders, I don't think they ever really truly threatened to leave. It was out there, but ultimately it got to a point where they had to do something.
Well, the Devils, too, during that time, back in the day.
Exactly. So, but the Devils were also winning. They won cups.
And they were still talking about them going to Kansas City or whatever it was back in the day.
Exactly.
Even when they were successful.
So, Steve Cohen and the other part of the business really wants to do something special. Win a World Series. You'll have all the political will you want. They'll be kissing your ass. They couldn't wait to give you the downstate license. They couldn't wait to help you build all these different things and give you the tax incentives to do it.
Friday news dump, Pete Alonso?
I wouldn't say it's a news dump. I think it's like it's not a dump.
Well, if it happens on Friday afternoon, that's what it feels like.
Yeah, again, see, there you go, mucking it up again. So negative. Dump, who's caving? Why do you use words like that?
Because that's the way I feel and think.
You're painting such a negative picture. Like if you told me, and I'll tell you when Pete signs his contract with the Mets,
at
I'm not
10:05 today.
I'm not going to be saying to myself, oh, this is a news dump. And by the way, they caved. No. I'm going to be like, I don't care. I want a full team, and I want him on this team.
I will be disappointed
and I'm
if
telling you, this would be like Saquon Barkley leaving the Giants, and that's what really made me want to dig deeper into this whole thing.
Dig deeper. Yeah, I would be disappointed if it happened Friday afternoon because then we have the entire weekend that everybody digests it before we get back on the air. So selfishly, I want it to happen on Monday.
I'm hoping it does happen on a Friday because then I can get to enjoy it a little bit.
Well, what do you mean?
It's hard to enjoy things during the week because we got to get up early.
You telling me you're going to celebrate the Pete Alonso signing by going out and drinking?
I didn't say going out and drinking. I may have a cocktail and say, hey, congratulations to me because I got it right.
I mean, come on. The day of the week does not stop you. If the Rangers are playing the Oilers on a Tuesday, I mean, you're loading up your Fresca and your Casamigos.
No, not during the week. On the weekend, yes, but not during the week, man. I come in here every morning, loaded for bear, ready to rock and roll.
I never said you didn't.
Got to deal with you maniacs.
I never said you didn't. Well, I hope it's today. I hope it's before the show.
I hope it is, too.
And we'll see who ends up caving. It's Boomer and Gio on the Fan at CBS Sports Network.